Good evening. Happy Independence Day. Hopefully you had an amazing day. Hopefully you're still having an amazing day. And hopefully right now, my choice and intention is to make your day even more amazing. So tonight, here, I'll talk about this little thing in a second. From church, my cape of courage. It's a new challenge I'm doing. So tonight, here's our topic of discussion. It's going to be about having the skill sets and the mindsets and the consciousness to unlock your best self. Tonight, I'm giving you the keys to the castle. In my opinion, I am firmly convicted that when you're talking about mindset and you're talking about consciousness and you're talking about ways of thinking, this is the most important information I could ever share with you. Like Gary Keller says, mindset is business is 10% work, 90% mindset. And your life is 90% mindset, 10% work. Because when you understand that, it allows you to work right versus hard. So hey, if this is your first time, just type first timer. If you have not already done so, if you're not connected on my email list and you have not gotten my 7 free videos, make sure you go up above in the link now and register, so you will also be sent all of our trainings for your workbook so you can follow along. I've been printing up all of our notes so you can follow along with me. And that way you have amazing ways to retain information, and it's going to allow you to have a significantly different experience of having the tools, writing down your challenges, and the things that we're going to go through are super important for your retention level. What's up, Audrey Nicole? What's up, Marty? So if this is your first time, just type first timer on the comment section. That way I can make sure you're supported. That way I can invite you and introduce you to our family, our crew here. We've got an amazing group of people that are committed to being their best and that are fully supportive. You are completely secure in any and all of my trainings. So feel free to come in, help yourself, ask questions, interact, be a fly on the wall. Whatever you choose, I vote your victory and I empower you to be the best version of yourself. And if you are in my training right now, you are obviously on your path, and I am doing my best to support you. What's up, Miss Robin? So, hey, here's what I would like to have from you. We may go over 30 minutes. I've been super enthusiastic to share this content with you all day, and I've had a week off, or not a week off, but at least since Thursday. So when I have 3 or 4 days when I'm not doing any trainings, I get super enthusiastic about being able to connect with you and share. And today is a holiday, and we're really going to talk about independence. Oh, yes, Audrey, thank you. Please share. If you have not, the best way you could thank me and the best way you could really give back is by sharing my broadcast, because I never know who we're going to help. And honestly, the first time I ever did social media, I literally had crickets where no one was responding for weeks until people started hearing my message and started hearing the message that I was putting out and how I was able to help and support them. And for a long time, I wanted to quit doing it. I wanted to quit doing it, and I had too many, like literally in one day, here's the crazy part. In one day, I was out in public, I had 2 different people at 2 different locations completely come up to me and said, "Hey, is your name Brian Johnson from Facebook?" And I said, "Yes, it is." She goes, "I just wanted to let you know that I have been watching your stuff, and I don't ever comment on anything that you post. I'm not active or anything. I'm just kind of read it and kind of go along. And I just want you to know that what you share with me has changed my life." And I was like, wow, that's super fascinating. I was like, I am so grateful. Can we hug it out? I was like, for you to tell me that at this time in my life is such a dramatic impact, because you have just given me the incentive, the momentum, and the validation that someone is getting message or my message and they're actually using it and it's making an impact in their life. I had that happen 2 times in one day, which at that point I said, all right, God, I give myself permission to get out of my own way. I give myself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I give myself permission to move forward and continue shooting videos. And the rest is history. And here we are today. So for those of you that are new, Miss Danny, it's good to see you. I appreciate your conviction to be your best. And I appreciate you allowing me to share with you. And I'm grateful that we got connected with all of you. We all have our own little stories. What's up, Spencer? Teddy Roosevelt. What's up, dude? Miss Wanda, welcome. So yeah, Brian, Marty Sorensen had a really amazing experience. And so you all understand, like we all, basically mostly everyone on this call so far, we have all had a conversation. We have all connected. And there is something special about each and every one of you. In each conversation that I've had with you, miracles have happened. And what I would like for you to do, for those of you that have connected with me and had some type of value, just share a quick experience of what has happened or what's been an aha moment for you. I would like to know what happened or what God was able to share through me as a messenger to you that made a difference in your life. So if you would do that, I would be grateful, and I appreciate that. And this will also help all of our newbies that are coming in, to give them support and help them to understand that they're in a secure place, and then they're more than welcome to show up fully as themselves. And one thing that I assure you, I don't ask for apologies or saying I'm sorry. I'm going to show up fully as Brian, and you show up fully as you, and that's how it goes. So tonight's training topic is on consciousness and the keys to unlock your castle. And I'm going to share with you the best tricks, tools, tactics I know. And I've got some really special information for you tonight, because we're going to talk about some secret society information, which is kind of, a little tabooish, right? And honestly, like, here's the deal. Hey, Mom. Mom's on. I love you, Mom. It's good to see you. So the information I'm going to share with you tonight is literally from one of my mentors. It's from a secret society. Now, here's the interesting part. Up until tonight, it's not your fault. I'm going to alleviate that from you right now. It's not your fault why you're not where you're at or where you would be or whatever would be. It's not your fault. What we are taught in school is crapola. Skubala is the word that I learned from church. Skubala is the Greek word for the most harsh sense of a waste of time, like camel doo-doo. That's what skubala means, thanks to my preacher. I've been practicing that. It's a better word for shit in a nice way, okay? So have landed multiple massive jobs, Miss Marty, reunited with his family. That's a huge deal. Improved his life and gained appreciation for so many things. And what did Miss Audrey say? I love hearing what everybody has to say, especially where they've been helped and where they've been blessed with the information that God shares with me through you. So I'm so appreciative for all of you. Most importantly, I have the easy part. You have the hard part. You get to do the work. Which, that's the hard part. Being willing to show up, look yourself in the face, and say, I am willing to experience the pain to ultimately have pleasure. And everybody that's on my call right now has been able to do that. And there's a lot of people, to the tune of about 95% of our population, that will never face themselves and the pains that they feel because they are unwilling to deal with the pain to experience the pleasure. I, on the other hand, am not willing, and the only thing that I am convicted is I will only show up fully, making sure that I am completely, fully able and willing to deal with whatever is unnecessary or whatever is necessary for me to deal with whatever pain to move forward. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is some tactics. I appreciate you too, Marty, and I'm so grateful that your family got reunited, man. That's awesome. And Miss Audrey, I appreciate you too, and you're always your support. So let's get to work. So, all right, for those of you that have my notes, and for those of you that don't have my notes and would like them, make sure you go up there and click on the email registration that says, give me my 7 free videos. And that way I can send you my notes, because this is exactly what I'm going off of tonight, okay? And for those of you moving forward, I have been typing all my notes up, so that way you can have them and follow along. And I assure you, right now we're in class. This information, my information, the stuff that God specifically puts through my mouth to you is gold. I'll say it again. Is gold. If you use it, it will change your life. I can just tell you, humbly speaking, I confidently and humbly expect miracles to happen every time this information comes out of my mouth and I implement it or share it with someone for them to implement. And you've already had multiple testimonials of people I've had conversations with that maybe haven't even been 5 or 10 minutes long. You've seen families reunite. You've seen all kinds of stuff. So my invitation to you right now is to put aside everything that has any type of disbelief involved in it. My invitation to you is to open your mind. Give yourself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Give yourself permission to ask yourself the question, what if Brian is talking about something that can change my life? Are you in a position to execute and implement the information that I share? Because if you are not willing to do that, my encouragement to you is to exit off of my training now, because this is a waste of your time and I'm basically going to a deaf ear. My choice is to only communicate specifically with people who are ready to do the work. And there's a reason why you are on my call, because I have made a conscious and subconscious commitment that the only people that show up in my life are people that are ready to step into their full journey and ones that are already on their path. So welcome, and I'm grateful to connect with each of you. So let's go through our notes. Let's start with number 1. For those of you that don't have notes, here's what you're doing. Thank you for sharing, Audrey. My first request of you is you can post this in a group right now. Like let's put a comment up. What are your 3 biggest struggles right now? Just type in relationships, money, spiritual connection, self-worth, unforgiveness, whatever. Just type in your 3 biggest challenges right now. Ready, go. Anybody have some Jeopardy music? Dun, 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 dun. 3 biggest challenges. What are they right now? Leave them in the comments section. And I have my computer open too so I can see everything. Danny, you like the old camel doo-doo, huh? You're welcome, Miss Robin, for the notes. You're welcome, Miss Audrey. I appreciate you. 3 biggest challenges. All right, so we have relationships, we have physical health, we have mental health, we have unforgiveness on the table right now. Awesome. So here's the deal, guys. Nighttime grazing, next steps in career. Perfect. You are doing amazing. Keep engaging, keep engaging, keep engaging. Give yourself permission to push yourself out of your box tonight. Give yourself full permission to be uncomfortable, and I promise you, I will support you fully. May even shed some tears with you. Who knows? I'm open-minded to it if that's what gets to happen. So nighttime grazing, next steps in career. Okay, so we got some unforgiveness. We've got mental health, some emotional time management, sleeping more, and saying no to people. Remember this, Audrey. Anytime you're saying yes to someone, you're saying no to yourself or no to something else. So ask yourself, is this my heart's highest choice? If not, what is? Okay, so we got a few things on the table right now. So let's do this, all right? Here is my next question for you. Are you currently at peace, experiencing freedom mentally and emotionally in your life? Yes or no? And you're going to follow me on a little journey for a minute. I'm going to go turn my AC down. It gets hot with all those lights on. So question on the table. Are you at peace with what's going on emotionally and physically in your life? Yes or no? We don't have to get into the story. We're definitely going to get into giving you some tactics and some things you can do to resolve it right now. I'm about to be back in the light, so in case you wonder where I went. Are you currently at peace? Because here's my whole video today that I did was this. It's like, even though we are right in the middle of 4th of July and being grateful for all the people that have given their lives so that we can have the life that we have today, I am super honored and find such a huge amount of gratitude for the people that have done that and still continue to do that. And here's the thing. Even though we are free, quote unquote free, are you specifically free mentally? Meaning, do you have peace of mind? Do you sleep well at night? Can you consciously enjoy yourself at any second of the day, no matter what's going on? Meaning your joy does not hinge on what's going on in your environment. Self-sabotage, negative mental chatter, the guy in the head is an a-hole. I gotcha. All right, so let's talk about some stuff. So we've got some questions on how is your personal relationship. This is also going to fit right in there with that, all right? How is your sleep? So let's do sleep on a scale of 1 to 10. Sleep, number 1 being really poor, and number 10 being amazing. Where do you fall out on a sleep scale? Just use that scale, 1 to 10. And we're going to go back through there and we're going to circle up on all the stuff that you ladies and gents shared. So sleep, 1 to 10. Where are you at on there? Let's figure that out. And that really is going to give you a huge indicator. Awesome, Miss Jennifer Cole. What's up? It's good to see you, as always. I appreciate you because I know you and I have recently just gotten connected recently. And I'm grateful that you engage and that you show up fully. And I'm super honored to be able to connect with you on a day-to-day basis when we go back and forth. So Marty, 4. All right. 3, challenges. All right, I got you, Danny. You and I have the same conversation. Wanda, 9. She's doing amazing. Spencer, 7.5. Okay, so we got some. Okay, I desire a 20. Yeah, me too. Robin, 7. Okay, so we've got a wide mixture of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Let's do the same scale, okay? Rate your physical body and your health. Same scale, 1 to 10. Where are we at? Same scale, 1 to 10. Where are we at? 7, 9.5, 3, 4. Hey, Jen, it's good to see you too, Jen. And Spencer. All right, so we got a wide mixture. Okay, we got some across the board. Awesome. So I'm gonna speak full spectrum. That way we have both sides, and that way I can give you support. And if there's specific questions you would like asked along the way, go ahead and let me know. And honestly, here's the deal. I typically usually only like to keep these in 30 minutes, and I'm feeling really amped up. I've got a lot of energy invested in this conversation tonight with you, and there's a lot of information I would like to cover. So with your permission, I may go a little bit over, and I'll stop wherever I feel necessary to stop. And if you have to cut out at any point in time, I completely understand. I honor that. And most importantly, I honor you for taking the time to invest it with me, because ultimately you are investing it in yourself. I have a question for you. Who is the most important person on the planet? This is a question that I require a response to, not a rhetorical question. The response required. Who is the most important person on the planet? It's a good one. I actually am going to do a training on this too. I'd like to hear your answers right now. Who is the most important person on the planet? God and me. Me, myself, and I. Oh, I have geniuses here. So okay, Audrey, be safe. Me. You ladies and gents are amazing, because here's what you already have foundationally set. You understand you are the most important person on the planet, and that is 100% factual truth, and I am in 100% agreement with that, because here's the deal. Scripturally speaking, not religion, love yourself as your neighbor, which implies you must love yourself first. As being a super conscious individual, which we all are, you must love yourself first before you can give anything away. You cannot give away something that you do not have. So if you notice right now, you're like, well, you know what, Brian? I don't love myself. It's totally okay. It's perfect. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. You know what's even crazier? Is that I didn't realize that I didn't love myself from the ages of 20 to 32 until I was 32, until it was brought to my attention. How crazy is that? I thought that I did love myself. Now here's the crazy part. I thought that I loved myself, and I really did. My body and my coach was saying, well, there's more available to you. And I was like, wow, really? Show me the way. Beam me up, right? So we're going to talk about how to reconnect with yourself tonight, because honestly, if you walk away with anything that I share with you tonight, the most important thing you can do, understand, and believe with, walk forward in agreement with, from the position of, I love myself and God loves me more than I could ever love myself. If you are off on that one fundamental straw, that is the one that's going to break the camel's back, or your back specifically. Because everything that you do forward when you're unattached or you don't love yourself, you're automatically splintered off of you. Everything else set up for that is set up in sabotage. Okay? So if your answer was not one on there, or you were, hey, Brian, you know what? I don't love myself. Totally okay. Here's what your homework is right now. You're going to say, I give myself permission to remember when I fell out of love with myself, and then shut up. Let your subconscious do the work. All you're doing is you're using a command, I give myself permission to remember when I fell out of love with myself first. Now, you may have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 different experiences. Completely okay. As they pop up, oh wow, I give myself permission to forgive myself for not loving myself here. I give myself permission to forgive myself for not loving myself here. All of those. And we can have a one-off conversation if you would like to. I'll be more than happy to support you. Just understand, walking forward right now from where we're at in this training, in my training, in our training, this is absolutely mandatory. This is Cape of Courage right here. Ready? Isn't that great? It cracks me up every time I wear it when I'm sitting around my house. Cape of Courage. That's what that means. I love my fear and my courage and my faith. Okay? So here's my next question for you. You ready? Are you awake? And I'm not talking from taking a nap. I'm talking about understanding that, are you awake? Do you understand and in agreement with, you are creating everything consciously and subconsciously in your life, good, bad, or indifferent? Are you awake? Yes or no is the question on the table. And for those of you that are just popping in, if you have not shared, please do. I appreciate you. For those of you that are just popping in, make sure if you have not gotten my 7 videos, hop upstairs up there and get on the link or enter your email address. You can get all of our updates. You can get my 7 free videos, and you can get the notes for your workbook to follow along tonight. Okay? So the question is, are you awake? Of course I am. What does that mean? Of course yes or of course no? Audrey, you're a veteran. Absolutely yes or absolutely no? Okay? C. Yes. Okay, where's the rest of you at? And this is an important question. No judgment here. I love you and I vote your victory. And this is important. Struggling with being present and awake 100% of the time. It's okay. But do you understand that you are creating everything in your life? Yes or no? That's really the crux of my conversation and the crux of my question. Do you realize consciously that you are creating every experience in your life on some level? Just popped in and I've never been awake. Amy, you are so awesome and I'm so grateful for you to be here. My invitation to you is to totally open your mind, suspend your disbelief, and allow me to share some stuff with you that will change your life. Make no mistake, there's a reason why you're here right now, and you'll understand here shortly. Make sure you go back and check out the replay. Make sure you go upstairs when we're done and enter your email address. That way you can get my 7 free videos, and that way you can get all of our updates, and you can get our workbook that everyone else is following along with right now. So I'm awake, but hard to stay focused. Okay? For the most part, everyone right now, are we in agreement by a response of yes that you are in 100% awareness, meaning aware that you are creating everything that's going on in your life? No matter what it is, you have agreed to on some level that that is what has happened. Yes or no? This is important. The only reason why I'm being adamant in answering this question and asking the question multiple different ways is so that I have everyone's complete engagement. What's up, Darcy? Thank you for I just recognized your name for the first time, so welcome aboard. What's up, Gregory Taylor? I appreciate you stopping in, Darcy. All right, so everyone's on the same page right now, and this is vastly important because here's the deal. There are many cobwebs set up to keep you asleep. Pharmaceutical drugs, the news, politics, artificial food flavors, processed foods, crap that's put in our airstream, stuff that's put in our water. Make no mistake, that is there on purpose. It's not by a fluke or by a fluke. Okay? That is set there to keep you from functioning in your highest I am that I am presence, of which God is functioning through you, as you, through your experience in your human characteristics. Perfectly okay, Robin. We can get around with that. Understand, I have not watched the news in years. And honestly, I love you so much that I tell you, I honestly would cut off your cable, watch Hulu, watch Netflix. Having the news or having cable is a waste of time. They don't call it a program for no reason. It's exactly what it's doing. It's a program. It's programmed to keep you from thinking that it's your responsibility to do and to make whatever changes in your life. They would like for you to think it's outside of your reach, like it just happens to you, like the tax rates go up. Oh, I can't control that. It means it's out of my ability to be able to change. My invitation for you today is to understand that everything you come across, specifically, what's up, Tamika Hall, is completely in your responsibility and completely within your power to make and change and to create whatever it is that you choose. You are created, I am created in God's image. That means there is nothing that you cannot do within gravity, reasons, and laws, according to right now, until you hop into spirit form. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah, the news is such a waste. Like, I can tell you this much, I have never watched the news one time and felt good about it. And you're going to find, as I go through my notes more, feeling good is the most important thing you could do on second-to-second basis, because we get what we are putting out vibrationally and emotionally as my cape of courage. Okay? We get what we are putting out emotionally. I'm going to talk about a few examples so you understand, all right? So are we good so far? Is everyone on the same page? Just type a yes if you're yes. If you have a question, type a question, and I will answer it at my earliest convenience for you. The news is depressing, and it's set up specifically like that to keep you in fear and to keep you wondering what's going to happen. Well, I don't operate on our earth economy. I operate on God's economy, which is completely different. And my invitation to you is to completely do the same thing. If you would like to have a conversation about that, then we can totally do that. All right. Everyone's good, okay? So we are awake. My invitation to you is to this. Be at cause in your life. I'm going to say that again. Cause and effect in your life by consciously creating it. By consciously understanding how to create miracles and to create outcomes in your life. By being aligned with them consciously. And by feeling amazing about them subconsciously, because it is the feeling married with the thought that pushes out the vibration into our universe and creates more experiences, people, places, circumstances, situations, and events that match the amazing feelings that you're putting off, or the frustrating feelings, the feelings of unforgiveness and pain. You will also get that. It is not discretionary. It'll put out whatever you choose to think about and whatever you choose to be dedicated and committed to on a subconscious level. Excuse me. Okay? So, we're going to talk about feelings. We're going to talk about vibrations right now. And we're going to talk about energy. The term feeling, emotion, vibration, and energy are all, what's the word I'm looking for? Similar, aka meaning the same thing. I'll choose to remember the technical grammatical portion to it. But here's the deal. Energy, feelings, emotions, and what is that? The other one. Vibrations. Okay, all of those are the exact same thing. And this is really important. So how many of you have heard of the mastermind term? If you've heard of the mastermind term, just type a yes. And hey, Tamika, if you're still on here, I appreciate you and our conversation that we had originally to get started with our relationship with each other. So I just let you know I agree. I appreciate you, and I thought it was really funny that we got to connect on that level. So welcome to my training. I appreciate you. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So how many of you, did you hear a little while back when I got into a little fender bender? It wasn't a bad one at all. It was really quite not much at all. I only really messed up my car a little bit. But here's the important part. I knew for a fact when I got in that wreck, I created every bit of it. And you know how I created it? It wasn't because I was thinking about car crash, car crash, car crash, car crash. No. I was angry at an experience that happened earlier that morning. I was being prideful, choosing not to forgive it when I knew that I could have. I was being resentful, and I was being frustrated. Naturally, me continuing to hold on to anger, frustration, and resentment, synonyms. There you go. Awesome. Me holding on to the anger, resentment, and frustration, all that did, the universe granted me my wish. It brought me another experience that matched exactly how I felt in the form of a wreck. And when that happened, I was like, I take full responsibility for my wreck. God, and I thank you so much for the act of Jesus that I did not get injured. I did not have to get insurance called on me. It was enough to wake me out of my ignorant thought pattern and to make a new choice. My question to you is this. How many things are going on in your life now that are frustrating, irritating, angry, resentful, painful? How many things are going on like that right now in your life? 1, 2, 3, or maybe you're having an enthusiastic life and you're functioning in enthusiasm. When you're functioning in enthusiasm, those experiences don't operate in the level of enthusiasm. It's a different vibration. You get more things that match up with I'm feeling enthusiastic, not angry, resentful, frustrated. More than I'd like to admit. Well, so let's think about this. So Marty, the reason you also commented on unforgiveness. Well, if you're wondering why those things are showing up, that's why it's showing up. Is you have some unforgiveness, and more than likely you have some unresolved experiences that haven't been loved and forgiven that are totally showing up. Hey, Tracy Weinmiller, totally showing up in your life. Let me ask you this. If I could give you the keys, really give you the tactics to help you to recognize when you're off your mark, to help you to recognize what your body is actually telling you, so you know what tactic to implement to change, would that be beneficial and helpful to you? Even without thinking, that's a yes. Because what I have found is it doesn't matter how great your nutrition program is, if you're eating amazingly well and you have unforgiveness and resentment and things that have not been resolved, all of this is hinging upon your ability to understand your emotional literacy, meaning there's body language if you're wondering why I'm digging in my nose. That's I can, this is I will, I can, I will, I can, I will. Okay? The key is you must have the information and the wisdom necessary to recognize where fear shows up at. Okay? So this is a review for a lot of my veterans. Fear, I'm going to keep going. It's already 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes when I thought I was going to shift or change or stop, but I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep going. Is everyone okay with that? Do I have your permission to continue on this amazing July 4th Independence Day where we are maximizing all areas of life and all areas of freedom for ourselves? Is everyone cool with that? And welcome, Miss Vicky. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. How do you figure out what the unforgiveness is? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So Robin, right knee pain, male unforgiveness or something, forgiveness with something that has been done. So Robin, this is for you, writer downer. I give myself permission to remember if I have any unforgiveness. I give myself permission to remember if I have any unforgiven events. Okay? Having the tools and the skill sets to transmute, meaning to flip negative emotions. For example, fear into my courage and my faith. Sorrow into my joy. Anger into my forgiveness. So let's talk about this. This is gold right now. Make sure you get your pen out. This is not on your paper right now, but I talk about this all the time. Here you go. Fear shows up in your body, in your stomach. It feels like you're hungry. How did I know this? I had an experience with it younger in life. I used to have social anxiety. So when I would get around people, I'd like to eat a lot because for me, my stomach felt hungry, even if I just ate. It wasn't that I was hungry. It was that I had fear. That's good to know. Understanding why you're reacting off of something. Like you may be triggered by your husband or by your wife or by your partner. But what you may not know is you may be originally triggered from your dad or your mom or a former partner. How valuable would it be to understand the origination of your conflict? I can tell you, it makes all the difference in the world because that way you can actually deal with the original experience to change what you're currently experiencing. Okay? So fear shows up in your stomach. Sorrow or sadness shows up in your neck or your throat. Okay? Your back and your neck over here, courage, your back and your neck is anger. Okay? These are vastly important. All of this stuff that's talked about in our body language training and our emotional breakthrough series, of which you'll have an opportunity to invest in one of them tonight based on which one I think would be best for you. And I'll cut you some type of deal. Okay? Emotional breakthrough work by far is the most potent stuff right there with body language. It by far, like to give you, most of you who've had a conversation with me on here over the phone or seen my trainings, like we have used body language and language code in our conversations. And it is that wisdom that has allowed you to experience miracles in your life that fast. So for those of you that all left quick testimonials at the beginning, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Emotional Breakthrough series and our body language series is what's going to give you the wisdom necessary to understand where you're at. So let's see, is it possible to know and be aware and forgive yourself, but then don't know how to move forward with it? Your subconscious knows how to move forward with it. Potentially, here's what could happen, Danny, is a lot of times people, like here's for an example, my experience when I was 20 and I was suicidal, had a relationship that went south, threw me for the loops, right? Didn't know how to handle the emotions, all that stuff. Basically what I had made up was, I don't love myself and love equals pain. Well, fast forward to 32 years old and all of these crazy experiences that I got to experience that I created unknowingly. Well, I thought that I had forgiven these experiences because I, quote unquote, had made it through life. Well, I'm sitting right here in front of you. Obviously, I've forgiven it. I say I have, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that's accurate. And this is why body language is so crucial, because when you're saying, I'm going to be a couple of you right now. So far we've got unforgiveness with Danny, Marty, and we've got some stuff floating around with Robin. So with your permission, I am going to be y'all for a second, and I'm going to ask myself, and I'm going to go through an actual me coaching myself, or you coaching yourself as you learn these tools and tricks. Remember, courage. Isn't that great? All right, so here's what you got. So let's just say I'm sitting in my house and I'm having these thoughts about a former partner, and I'm feeling I'm getting charged, meaning I'm getting hot, my heart rate goes up. I know for a fact I have something that has not been forgiven, right? So here's what I do. First thing out of my mouth is, it's okay. It's okay takes the charge off of the emotion so our body will stop reacting to it physiologically. So I see, it's okay. I give myself permission to forgive my former partner, not for what he or she did to me, because that's being a victim. I forgive my former partner for the pain that I experienced and co-created in our relationship. And I give myself permission to move forward, and I vote her victory, his victory, and my victory. We'll talk about Aber too. Okay? And most importantly, I give myself permission to move forward, and I trust love. I trust myself. I give myself permission to trust myself. There may be a few phrases that we get to use, but here's the deal. If you notice that you have pain showing up in your knees, that's a prime indication of unforgiveness. If you have pain showing up in your kidneys and your lower back, that's a prime sign of unforgiveness. Kidney stones, unforgiveness. Liver issues, resentment, unforgiveness. All of those, okay? So here's to kind of tie it back down to where we were. It's important to ask yourself the question, how can I feel better? Because when I was in a crappy mood, in a scubala mood, I couldn't just go from being upset to enthusiastic. That's too big of a jump. Not going to happen. But what I could do is ask myself, well, how could I feel better? What can I appreciate about this? Well, I can appreciate that I have these amazing skill sets that God has blessed me with to learn and to completely memorize. I'm grateful that I have some of the best teachers on the planet to share their wisdom and time with me. I'm grateful that I'm able to breathe air. I'm grateful that I'm able to get out of bed. I'm grateful that I have an amazing phone that I can connect with all of you at one time, no matter where you're at in the world. I'm grateful for my little cape of courage. Hip and back. Back's about feeling supported or burdens with others, and your hip is about connecting when you're doing and you're moving forward. So understanding what to do moving forward. And you and I kind of mentioned stuff about this, Robin. All this will be talked about in our body language series, which is super fascinating. So remember, the whole moral to the story is, how can I feel better? Because we get more experiences that match what we are feeling emotionally or subconsciously or in our emotional vibration or emotional frequency. The blue thing in my hand, this or this? This is for changing negative patterns that show up. I take this and I switch my hand every time I catch myself. Hey, someone said something about internal dialogue. I think it was you, Spencer. Use the thing, I cancel all internal dialogue. I use this bracelet because I got it in bold, one of my training classes with Keller Williams. Every time I have a negative thought pattern, I catch it and I change the bracelet so that I anchor that down. And I say I cancel all internal dialogue and I give myself permission to move forward and I vote my victory. Okay? And this little thing right here is a purple amethyst stone. I like to hold it in my hand because it keeps my hands active while I'm talking and it just keeps me engaged. So I have a little gadget and I just put this on for fun. I got it at church. It's called Cape of Courage. It's a challenge we're doing right now. So this is my Cape of Courage challenge. And it just keeps me smiling and keeps me having a great time. And really, if I'm having a great time, you're much more apt to have a great time. And really, that's the key. The question you ask yourself is, how can I feel even more better? Well, this was that, how can I even feel more better? So, and it's a great reminder, okay? All right, so let's talk about this. So we talked about how can we feel better. We talked about recognizing fear, sorrow, and anger and where it shows up in your body. Let's talk about a direct tactic that I actually invented. How awesome is that? I invented a tactic, okay? Here you go. My tag, and Audrey, will you do me a favor and post Abra back up for us? So what Audrey's going to post back up is called Abra, A-B-R-R-A. For those of you that have been connected with me for a little bit, this is my very own system within systems that helps me to A, acknowledge or identify an experience. I got this at Gateway Church. We're doing a Cape of Courage. I love it. It's such an awesome, isn't it? I put it on my little pen. I just put it on my little finger while I'm writing around. It keeps me laughing, which is really key. Also, too, on this note, when you are enthusiastic and having a great time, pay attention to what wildlife shows up in your experience. When I'm enthusiastic, like truly enthusiastic, I get a lot of cardinals and I even get hummingbirds. All of that stuff is signs of validation of you functioning in higher levels of frequencies. Nothing just happens on the planet. So pay attention when you notice certain things or certain types of people show up. All of this is information that lets you know and validates where you're operating at emotionally in your subconscious body. Okay? Every wildlife, from cardinals to hummingbirds, they all have different symbolisms and different meanings. Enthusiasm, meaning walking in your purpose, is what the cardinal stands for. So I see him a lot. It's really amazing. Like one day, Riley and I were counting them. We saw like 2 or 3 on the way back from the store. And here's what I've actually been practicing with Riley. I've actually been telling her and helping her to understand how you can actually create. So what we'll do is we'll put a conscious thought in the air like, all right, we'd like to see a cardinal. Then what we do is we get our body feeling really good. Like think about the best experience that you ever had legally and create that feeling in your body. And be enthusiastic and be amazingly excited and grateful for it. And what happens is when you marry that conscious thought with that enthusiastic, elevated feeling, that is what creates your visual experience and what creates things in your life faster. So acknowledge is A. Breathe into your stomach. R stands for release. Second R stands for realign, and the A stands for appreciate. So let's just walk through this, because if you use this, this will make such a massive shift in your life. And this could be such a simple thing as to taking you 5 minutes to work through something or 5 days. What's your choice? Mine included. 5 minutes, please. All right, so let's talk about it. Afraid to ask, haha, crows. Oh, you might want to research that one. Guess it's better than doo-doo birds. You know what I mean? All right, so acknowledge. We talked about this. The first part to be able to transmute, which means to change an emotional pattern or an energy, is recognizing it, is identifying it, is acknowledging it. Like, well, do I have fear? Do I have sorrow, or do I have anger? Your body language is what's going to give you the truth, not your thinker. Here's an example. One day, something happened where I felt rejected. Automatically, I got angry about it. Here was the first part. My first initial reaction was not anger. So I started working on the anger and doing my Jedi tricks and doing Abra, and it wasn't working. So I said, all right, what's truly going on here? I checked back in. Guess what? My chest and throat was tight too. So, oh wow, I felt rejected first. So I got sad first, and then I got angry as a protective mechanism. Well, screw them. That kind of whole attitude, right? So what happens is you need to make sure you're emotionally literate so you understand what your body is actually telling you. This way, you can invest the time in the right emotional space with where you're actually at. So that way you actually can move forward because you're in your current reality. Most people do not know what they feel. Body language is not taught in school, which is, man, super fascinating. Most fascinating stuff I've ever learned and experienced. Okay? So we talked about Abra. Ultimately, here's the deal, and then we'll close out on this and we'll save the rest for tomorrow or for Wednesday. Your goal is to literally to be able to predict a cause and effect. You're not going to be able to nail it. Being able to create, like what we just talked about with seeing cardinals, with Riley and I were playing, and I was practicing, and I was sharing some stuff with her. And then we also had her working on 3 blue jays. So being able to understand that you, me, both are created in God's image. You have an innate, built-in, man and woman made power to create. Stay away from processed foods, alcohol, drugs. Stay away from prescription medication. Stay away from the news. All of that stuff is designed to pollute your ability to create a strong signal out of your brain. We have a transceiver. If you are clouded and you're drinking water that's got fluoride in it, it's calcifying your pineal gland. So your ability to create strong impulses of thought pattern is not going to happen. That's why this stuff is around. And that's why it's being dumped in every form of our environment, from our water to our air to our food, all of it. And for those of you on my call that are awake, now you fully understand this. This is not a battle of flesh and blood. This is a battle against spirits, principalities. This is a battle of God and Satan that is definitely going on in our world, in our heads, and in our environment. Full-fledged. Make no mistake. So take care of your brain. Take care of your body. If you require question support, let me know. I can help you with all this stuff. Okay? So here's the deal. We're going to close out right now. And honestly, I'm feeling really empowered and feeling really called to present to you an opportunity to invest in yourself in our Emotional Breakthrough series. Here's the benefit. If you're not maximizing your life right now, if you notice that you could be doing more, if you notice that your personal relationship, the way that you feel about yourself, is not where you would like for it to be, if you know that you have broken relationships that you would like to mend on some level, if you notice that your body is not responding the way that you would like for it to, if you notice emotionally that you're up and down on roller coasters and you're not understanding what to do or how to do it, I have an answer for you. And I have the keys to unlock your castle. And it's going to come in the form of information and wisdom. This wisdom is only useful if you use it. It's guaranteed to work if you do it. It's guaranteed to work or guaranteed not to work if you don't use it. It's plain and simple. Okay? So here's what you get. Tonight, you get an opportunity to invest in our Emotional Breakthrough series. It's 4 hours long, very in-depth, of going through emotional patterns, word patterns, things that are inhibiting you from being your best. Your language and my language is the number one thing that will change your life the fastest. Trust me. Follow my advice and allow me to share this wisdom with you. It will be some of the most impactful information and wisdom that you're ever going to find. And think about this. Think about a ship, a huge ship in the ocean. Okay? A huge ship in the ocean is still controlled by a small rudder. a fraction of the size that turns that big, massive tanker around in the water. And my invitation to you is to understand that our tongue, yours and mine, is the exact same way. Your language and my language is the number one thing that will create, and that it is creating. Every time you say a word, words have emotional vibration or emotional frequency to them. So when you put words out of your mouth, you are literally bringing back experiences that magnetize and that match those feelings and the words coming out of your mouth. So imagine if you just make a couple of shifts. For example, I choose to make this fun and easy. How impactful do you think that that would be in your life if you understood that and you actually locked it down to where it was subconsciously competent, meaning when your butt got tight and you got stressed, you said, whew, I choose to make this fun and easy. How much of an impact do you think that that would make on your life? I assure you, it'll drop massive points off your blood pressure and your stress levels and make a massive difference in your ability to be able to sleep. When you understand tools and tactics that are in our emotional breakthrough series, these are the things that you can expect. Okay? If you are interested in maximizing your experience, here's your opportunity. The link is above in my post. You literally can have $300 off. Audrey's taking it. Life-changing, extremely impactful. You can have $300 off with the code EMOTION. The link is above. Just use that. When you get done enlisting, message me so we can set up your call to go through your own personal stuff so I can share with you how to prep yourself. I can share with you what to do to be on top. And let's just understand something. It's important for you to know I've been suicidal. I've been 253 times. I'm grateful to be alive because I should have been dead 10 or 15 times by now. Cancel clear, I choose my life. And unless you understand why you are showing up in certain ways and why you're not fulfilled in every way, there's sabotage going on. And the skill sets that you're going to get in our training are going to help you to recognize and solve that. Naturally, that's what you want, right? Me too. Understand that heaven on earth is possible. And it's a state of consciousness. Meaning it's a state of emotional awareness and creation. Not victim. It's going to take you understanding the wisdom and the tools and aligning yourself with God's principles, which is exactly what we do in our training, so that you are aligned with the laws. Not my opinions. This has nothing to do with me. It's the scriptural laws that you're aligning with and understanding language patterns and codes and understanding how to use them in your life. And you hear me use them as we're interacting tonight. And I'm a student. I'm consistently a student so that I can be the best version of myself. I humble myself daily to receive wisdom and instruction. So that's all I have. Message me after you enlist. Oh, you have another bonus. I forgot to tell you about this. Actually, I just remembered. So, interesting, right? So your bonus is, you have 2 bonuses. 1A is a call with me so that we can sort through your stuff and invest some time together. The second one is, you're actually going to get Chris's grocery store training video. He went and did a new one recently. It's an hour long. That's got a ton of stuff in it that mine did not touch on. So that's actually going to be a free gift for you. So that's all I have. Put on your cape of courage. Choose to make it fun and easy. And I will see you back on Wednesday where we're going to go through the back half of my notes. And I'm going to add some more stuff to this. So if you have not registered for my 7 free videos, use the link above in my post. That way you can get updates and you can also get my training notes before we have this next class on Wednesday. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. Most importantly, thank you for participating. Life is 10% showing up, 90% participation. If you give yourself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable, you can make massive shifts in your life. Like, allow me to share something with you. It wasn't but 10 years ago I was in jail. At the bottom rung of my life. Bottom rung of my life. Hands down. With the information that I'm sharing with you, I was in the most peaceful state And here we are 10 years later, and the things that are going on right now in my life are rather crazy. Allow me to share with you. I'm currently putting together a deal with Keller Williams right now, which is 140,000 real estate deals. We're putting a body language for performance for their people. I'm fixing to do some work with a guy, Mike Morelli, one of my brothers, has got a following of 6 million people sharing the stuff I'm sharing with you. So my whole point of saying this is not about me. It's about understanding that if you're at a time in your life where you're not happy and you're on the bottom rung, you literally can be back on top in 24 hours if you trust what I'm telling you. You're willing to do the work. You must be willing to do the work. You must be willing to be uncomfortable. And you must be willing to persevere and to be persistent when things aren't going accurately. All you need is some new skill sets. And you can have the skill sets you need in our Emotional Breakthrough series and our Body Language series. If you would like to do both of those series, message me and I'll set something special up for you. And I'll set something special for sure because I love you and I appreciate fast action takers. So have an amazing day. And I will see you soon. I'll obviously be in the land of Facebook so you can reach me. Those of you that have my cell number, if you have questions, then you know what to do. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your love and support. And most importantly, thank you for loving yourself. That is the key. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day. And remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye. Get on your cape of courage.